Little Pissed Sunshine, 0190 Slap Dance, 02 Sweet Chaos, 111 Yuki, 137 Out of Bounds, 17 Calamity Agnes, 27 Tricky Vicky, 515 Little Mermaids, 61 Feminist Attack, 83 Peaches, and 99 Death Wheel. And we're on our way for the first jam of this game. We have Little Pissed Sunshine on the jammer line for the Heartbreakers. And we have Looslicht jamming for the Harbour Honeys. And we're on. Looslicht at the front, picking up the first lead of the game, but Little Miss Sunshine is not far behind. So this is now a race. Pack wants to speed up a little bit. Rotterdam defense in the back, forcing Looslicht to call off that jam to keep Little Miss Sunshine from scoring points. 0-0 on that first jam. Vesper, Peer Pressure, and Calamity Agnes.
And for the next jam we have Peer Pressure against Calamity Agnes. And they're off a tight pack, both jammers in the pack at the moment, pushing through, and we have the first penalty of the game, and a lead jammer status for Rotterdam. Rotterdam quickly trying to score some points, and a really quick call off. And let's see if we have the first points on the board. And it's 1 for Rotterdam Harbour Honeys and 3 for Pink Avalanche.
That was really a hard-hitting jam there at the end.
Yes, it was.
Peer Pressure coming in hot, bodies dropping left and right. Now for this next jam, we have Yaya on the jammer line for the Harbour Honeys. But already a team timeout, or an official timeout.
We have an official review.
Official review. I will go
Avalanche.
to the middle and come back with more info.
Let's see what the official review is about. Both teams are allowed one official review per half. If there is a call or a no call which they do not agree with, which they think it's incorrect, they can bring it on with the referees, and it can be corrected if the referees agree with that. So now we have a nice huddle for the referees, and you have both the captains and the alternates who are stating their case. And with Sparkles returning, she's going to tell us.
I have returned. So remember when I said, ooh, Peer Pressure coming in hot and bodies hitting the floor? Well, the Pink Avalanche actually thinks that that was a back block penalty that should be assessed on that impact there. So refs are deliberating, and I will let you know what the outcome was. I could not tell from here where that impact was. But the refs always have a good eye on these things.
And that's why we have 7 refs.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot going on track. And to keep track on everything, we need a lot of referees.
Yeah, it's kind of high risk, high reward calling an official review that early in the game. So they must be pretty confident that what they saw was not legal. But let's see what the refs think of that. They're still deliberating.
And as soon as they have made their decision, they will first inform the teams, and afterwards they will tell us so we can inform you. And it looks like they have made their decision. So we will wait until the teams are informed. And then my lovely colleague Sparkles will tell everyone and will tell all of you what the verdict is.
Ben je degene die nu net hebt gezegd? Oh, right. Nice one. Ja, het is leuk hè? Ik voel me wel echt een beetje zo.
Right. Welcome back, Sparkles. Can you please tell us what the verdict is?
Yes, I can. So the refs did observe that impact, but they say that the skater that received the contact to the back turned in at the last moment. So the position was not yet established, so it's not a back block.
Okay, thank you very much. That
And
means
they
that
will not
yes.
retain their review.
Yep.
We're back on.
Hoe is dat hier?
So that's Yaya jamming for the Harbour Honeys and Yuki for Pink Avalanche. Yuki at the front on their tiptoes, making it out for lead jammer status.
Toen ben ik begonnen en toen ben ik na 4 maanden gestopt.
Yaya still stuck in that defense.
Toen ben ik ook wel coach geworden. Ik dacht, kan niet skaten.
Really solid tripod there at the front.
Both at the front and the back.
Yeah,
Both teams are really making
solidifying, but Yuki on that inside picking up 4 points. Yaya now with the helmet cover in hand.
Doe je andere dingen, andere wedstrijden ook.
And a star pass to Bremer. Meanwhile, Yuki in her second scoring pass calls off the jam before Bremer can score 8 points. 2 more points picked up by Pink Avalanche. 6 points total, bringing the score to 1 point for the Harbour Honeys and 9 points for Pink Avalanche.
And in the meantime, we have Fliza Manelli lining up as a jammer, and Fliza will be facing off a Little Pissed Sunshine.
Yes. Seems like for now the Heartbreakers are going with a 3 jammer rotation. And this is the 4th jammer lining up for the Harbour Honeys. That's interesting. I also see a blocker, that's the pivot for Pink Avalanche in the penalty box right now.
Yep, that's number. Let me see, 515.
Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Back advantage for the Harbour Honeys. But first there is an official timeout.
I did see some referees going to the bench areas. Usually that is not a good sign, but I also do not see anyone being sent to the penalty box from the bench. So
Yeah, sometimes it's as simple as hey, fix your armband, but sometimes it's also like, hey, go sit in the box.
yeah, usually when I'm on the bench and I see the referees coming, I'm like, yeah, things that I cannot say on camera.
Skaters look very ready to play though. The ref is deliberating with the coach of the Harbour Honeys, but it seems like all is good.
With the rolling whistle, we are ready to go into the next jam. Both teams are still on single digits, score-wise, and with a little less than 27 minutes left on the clock. We have a quick lead from Rotterdam. Fliza Manelli quickly going around to score some points. And we have also Little Piss Sunshine out of the pack. Fliza Manelli after scoring 4 points, deciding to quickly call it off to prevent Pink Avalanche from scoring any points.
Yes, good move there, good jam for the Harbour Honeys, bringing the score to 5 points for the Honeys and 9 for Pink Avalanche. Next up we have Calamity Agnes jamming for Pink Avalanche, and we have Carsa Nova for the Harbour Honeys. And we can see the dynamic starts there from the Harbour Honeys, changing at the 5 seconds. trying to confuse the other team, but a bump out and recycle there by Medusa on Carcinova. We have Calamity Agnes at the front, going out that outside line, while Carcinova is being recycled. Now helmet cover in hand, trying to do a little star stash. Calamity Agnes again on that outside line, super smooth
Er
there.
zit soms bij komt waar we moeten reageren.
And a call off. I wonder why that gem got called off. But there's also been a low block assessed to Carcinova. So this will be a power start for Pink Avalanche.
With Carcinova going into the penalty box as a jammer.
Yes.
Carcinova will be facing off Yuki. Yuki having a power jam start.
Exactly. Still needs to pass that Rotterdam defense though.
We have so far seen some really sturdy tripods.
Yes.
So this is not an easy pack to get through.
Yes, and also Carcinova already standing in that penalty box. So this has been a really good power kill by the Harbour Honeys.
With Carcinova out of the out of the penalty box and
Lead from the penalty box. That's
Yes.
so satisfying.
yeah. And since the penalty was issued in the last jam, Carcinova was actually eligible for lead jammer status in this jam. And quickly calling it off and scoring some points. Let's see, that's 2 points.
The blocker's very happy with the end result of that jam. Of course, you have a power jam against. That's always a little bit stressful, but they pulled through with the strong defense and got their jammer lead out of the box. Very good job. 2 points also picked up by the Harbour Honeys, bringing the score to 7 points for them and 13 for Pink Avalanche.
So we are going into an official timeout as a
It's like a
referee is
regular
being waved
timeout.
towards the penalty box.
Ooh. Yeah, we're just trying to make sure that everything runs smoothly. These are sanctioned games, so
And it's also very important to hear what the penalty box is saying, because you can also commit penalties from the penalty box.
that's very true. It happens to the best of us.
Yep.
I do see that they already have the lineup ready. You know, this will be Looslicht facing off against Little Pissed Sunshine. So it is true that the Pink Avalanche team has a 3 jammer rotation. The Harbour Honeys have a 5 jammer rotation, so that's very interesting. Looslicht at the front, 1 to beat, 2 to beat, but does so with a beautiful side serve there at the front. Little Bit Sunshine with a quick star pass to number 515. That's Little Mermaids. So Looslicht trying to pick up some more points before Mermaids can score any, and does so. 3 points picked up there by the Honeys. Only 3 points between these two teams right now. It's a really tight game. We have 1 blocker from Pink Avalanche in the penalty box right now, so pack advantage for the Harbour Honeys.
And we have Fear Pressure lining up against Calamity Agnes for the next jam. A quick lead past the inside.
Yeah, that was some
for
beautiful
Fear Pressure.
offense as well from Exterminate, really clearing that inside lane for Fear Pressure.
And Fear Pressure not taking any chances, scoring on 1 blocker, which means that Fear Pressure also scored on the blocker in the penalty box.
And another blocker. That's 3 points.
3 points.
Yeah, that was very quick.
Yep.
Really nice job there. And it's a tight score.
With 13 against 13.
Now we will have Yaya versus Yuki. Liking that matchup. The battle of the wise. And it's Yaya coming out on top. Very stoked about that. Yuki, however, also making it out of the pack around half a lap behind. Yaya in a scoring pass. Beautiful work there. 4 points and a call off before Yuki can score any points. Meaning we have a lead change.
Yep. Let's see if Flies and Manelli can take advantage of that. Flies and Manelli will be facing off Little Pissed Sunshine. With the pack back together, inside we have a quick lead from Little Pissed Sunshine. With Flies and Manelli still stuck in the pack. Little Pissed Sunshine on the first scoring pass of this jam.
Gets recycled there by Iron Mist. And I think we have Flies and Manelli in the penalty box right now as a jammer. So this is now a power jam for Pink Avalanche.
The power jam with
2 blockers also in the box for Rotterdam.
that is not a good situation to be in if you have only 2
But
blockers
the
on
blockers
track.
that are on the track are Exterminate and Iron Mist, so they're not going to make it easy for Little Pissed Sunshine to just get through there. Look at that, one-on-one at the front, but Little Pissed Sunshine makes it out, picks up 4 points, 8 points already on the board. Flies and Manelli's back on track.
And Flies and Manelli out of the pack, going into the first scoring pass. But Little Pissed Sunshine keeps an eye on the opposing jammer, quickly calls it off, preventing Rotterdam from scoring any points. And with 12 points scored for Pink Avalanche, making it 25 versus 17.
And that's another lead change. I hope that you're all doing like the little lead change drinking game but with water, because it's 11:30 in the morning. But I'm also not one to judge someone's lifestyle, so you know, if you want to take shots, go for it. It's weekend.
And also with the live stream, you can be anywhere in the world, so it's always somewhere drinking time.
That's true. Get that drink. I feel like there are going to be a lot of drinking moments in this game. Maybe, you know, it's they're very evenly matched, I feel like.
So if you think it's too early for a drink, put your time on, well, let's say Japanese time.
Smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Loophole.
Yep.
Alright, we are in an official timeout and it's over. So on the jam line we have Carcinova for the Harbour Honeys. And let's see, that's Calamity Agnes for Pink Avalanche. Penalty box is empty again, so that's nice. We have Carcinova pushing at the front there, getting hit out. That's a really big hit. Takes a bit of time to get up, and in the meantime, Calamity Agnes gets the lead. Carcinova now with Star in hand, 2 to beat in the front. That's Death Wheel and Sweet Chaos. Really nice 2-wall, but Carcinova pushes through. Calamity Agnes finishes her scoring pass, 4 points picked up there. And trying to really stretch the time with that call off because one of her blockers is in the box. So that was pretty smart, but Carcinova really fast skater, so could not get her blocker out yet, but the blocker is standing.
In the meantime, we have Loos Licht, who will be facing off Yuki. And with 2 extra points for Rotterdam being assessed, making it a 10-point difference. 19 versus 29.
With Yuki escaping there at the front.
Quickly on the inside and going around, and meantime the blockers are not making it easy for Loos Licht. Loos Licht out of the pack, but Yuki having a good eye on the opposing jammer, picking up points and quickly calling it off. Picking up 4 points.
Yes, score now 19 points for the Harbour Honeys against 33 for Pink Avalanche. That's what, 14 points? That's
Yep.
not a comfortable lead at all.
Nope.
Now we have Little Pissed Sunshine against Peer Pressure. Peer Pressure in front. And now it's Pissed Sunshine at the front, but wow, beautiful move on the outside. Peer Pressure, lead jammer, coming in now for their scoring pass. Little Pissed Sunshine also out of the back on her initial. And 2 blockers, wow. Beautiful little lift off move on the outside there with 1 skate on the floor, 1 skate in the air. 2 blockers from Pink Avalanche still in that penalty box. So this was a really good jam for the Honeys because they scored 4 points, kept the other jammers scoreless and kept 2 of the Pink Avalanche blockers in the penalty box. Next up we have Yaya jamming for the Harbour Honeys against Calamity Agnes.
Ja, ze hebben geen verbinding.
And Yaya with a quick lead there on that inside line, now coming in for their first scoring pass. Yuki with 1 to beat and it's exterminate, hitting Calamity Agnes to the floor. And a forearm call on Yaya, so this is now a power jam for Pink Avalanche. Calamity Agnes gets bumped out there by Exterminate and Recycled. But here comes the offense. However, really solid defense here from the Harbour Honeys and a big hit. But one hand out of bounds is not out of bounds. So Calamity Agnes was free to go. That was really clever, really good work there. Alright, so Jammer back on track now for the Harbour Honeys. Calamity Agnes making quick work of that scoring pass. 8 points already on the board, while Yaya is still on their initial. Tiptoeing on the inside, beautiful. And Calamity Agnes already back to score some more points. Sheer force just pushing those blockers. Both jammers scoring, no leads. So, and that is a cut track penalty drawn by one of the blockers. So another power jam here for Pink Avalanche.
We have
Also
again
less
Yaya in
than
the
30
box.
seconds
Yes.
on the clock, so they will also start the next jam with a power start.
Calamity Agnes having a tough time with those Rotterdam tripods, but with the good offense, able to pass on the inside, picking up another 4 points. While the 2 minutes is over, and I think this is the first 2-minute jam we had this game.
Yeah, it looked really tough, and very big props to Calamity Agnes for that endurance on that jam, because the defense was brutal, and she still managed to pick up 16 points in that, so great work. 7 points also picked up by the Harbour Honeys, so scores now 30 against 49.
We have Yaya standing in the penalty box, so that means that Yaya has less than 10 seconds left. A power jam start from Yuki, quickly picking up lead jammer status. While Yaya is now also out of the pack, going for the second round as a jammer. And after a 2-minute jam, that is tiresome.
That's pretty tough.
In the meantime, Yuki picking up 4 points with Yaya out of the pack.
Wow,
Yuki-
that little hip flick around the blocker was beautiful there on the inside.
Those jammers really have the tendency to make it look easy, which
Right?
it's not.
It's not at all. This is very impressive. 8 points picked up by Pink Avalanche on that jam. They are increasing their lead a little bit. They have 27 points over the Harbour Honeys right now. So this is a timeout for the Harbour Honeys, which is actually, I think, really good timing, you know. They had some power jams against, and Pink Avalanche scored quite some points. Now they're just gonna reset everything, rethink some things, maybe change up some things.
And take a breather.
And just breathe, yeah, that's also important.
That's often the bench crew has a better idea that you need a break than you do.
Yes, that's very true.
It won't be. It will not be the first time that, especially the lineup manager tells me you need a break.
You need to kind of sit down and chillax for a second. Yeah.
And my usual response would be like, "No, I don't need a break," and that's why I need a break.
Yeah. Always listen to the coach.
Yep.
They know best. Alright, skaters going back to the track. We have Flysa Manelli for the Harbour Honeys and Little Pissed Sunshine for Pink Avalanche. You can see right now the Pink Avalanche setup at the front and the Harbour Honeys at the back. But we've been also seeing a lot of dynamic starts, so who knows where everybody's gonna end up. Seems like Pink Avalanche is gonna plug that wall. Flysa Manelli with a lot of speed and a lot of strength makes it out for a lead jammer. Little Pissed Sunshine now with helmet cover in hand. While Flysa Manelli comes in for her first scoring pass. Getting some assistance here. But a really strong defense at the front. Tiptoeing on the inside, gets tangled there by number 27, Turkey Vicky, but makes it out for 4 points. And a star pass to Death Wheel. Very smooth star pass, while Flysa on her second scoring pass decides to call off the jam. 3 more points picked up there, 7 points in total on that jam for the Harbour Honeys, bringing the score to 37 versus 57. 20 points between these teams right now. This is a really tight game.
Meantime, we have Casanova, and Casanova will be facing off Calamity Agnes with 20 points difference in favor of Pink Avalanche. We have Calamity Agnes quickly out of the pack, taking lead jammer status and cleanly punching through that wall, picking up 4 points. With Casanova taking off the panty, which is actually very clever because at that point you need to cover both the jammer and the pivot for that to prevent that star pass.
Calamity Agnes is just doing like 2075 on the track right now.
Yeah. In the meantime, we have a star pass to Bremer. Bremer right behind Calamity Agnes. Calamity Agnes not willing to give away any points, quickly calling it off with 12 points scored in this jam, which is quite an achievement because we have seen very strong walls here.
Yes, really good jam there by Calamity Agnes. Just finding those little holes in the tripods and with enough speed just blasting through. Next up we have Lowe's Lift against Yuki. And Yuki at the front wants to beat and does so, but Lowe's Lift is not far behind at all. So it's a little race. And the pack is speeding up. Yuki decides she doesn't want to race and calls off the jam 0-0. Better safe than sorry, you know.
And Fear Pressure is lining up, and Fear Pressure will be facing up against. I can't see.
Little Pissed Sunshine.
Little Pissed Sunshine.
Yes.
There are some referees in the way. But then again, that's their job to be in the way. They need to have the best view possible. And We have veer pressure in front, but it is little Piss Sunshine taking the lead jammer status. Veer pressure closely behind, and we have another jammer race, and a jump on the inside apex jump. Let's see if that results in any points scored. Yes,
does.
4 points. 4 points scored.
And you just have to land it in bounds. If you fall after, if you go out of bounds after, you already have those points.
Yep.
That's really good work there. by
Successfully
Miss
picking up
Sunshine.
4 points. With a lead that is opening quite fast the last couple of jams.
Yes, that's true. And next up we have Yaya against Calamity Agnes. Yaya trying to tiptoe on that inside line, but meet up with that wall. Calamity Agnes with 1 to beat and does so. One blocker from Pink Avalanche going to the box. Yaya also with 1 to beat, completing their initial pass. Calamity Agnes already in scoring position. Meeting up with the hips of Rosa Pengosa, and Exterminate decides to call off that jam. 1 point picked up though, increasing their lead ever so slightly. It's now 37 versus 74.
With Fliza Manelli facing off Yuki. That's actually 1-1-1 versus 1-1-1.
The battle of the ones.
Yes, we have 6 ones behind the jammer line.
Who's gonna come out number 1?
Yes,
Let's see.
we have 6 options.
Ooh,
And the winner will be... Oh, that's 1-1-1.
Oh, actually.
Oh, it's 1-1-1. So Yuki taking the lead with the Rotterdam jammer being recycled, Fliza Manali being recycled to the back, while Yuki is on a scoring pass. Fliza Manali out of the pack now, quickly going around, see if Fliza can score any points, but Yuki is not having it and calls off.
I really like this matchup, not just because they're both 1-1-1, but also because they both have similar styles. They're both kind of bulldozer jammers who also can tiptoe the line. So it was really fun seeing them like alternate between the same kind of moves. Now for this next jam, we have Carsanova against Little Pissed Sunshine. Again, Pink Avalanche starting all the way at the pivot line and then dropping back on the 5 seconds. They seem to really like this strategy. Carsanova at the front, but it is Little Pissed Sunshine who actually gets the lead. Carsanova 1 to beat, 2 to beat. Just the water falling off these blockers is insane. But she makes it out on her initial. Little Pissed Sunshine in a scoring pass. Now both jammers scoring. Really nice steal there from the Harbour Honeys. Krasinova picking up 4 points, even though she was not lead. And 2 points picked up by Pink Avalanche. So Rotterdam did come out on top in this jam.
And we have Looslicht facing off Calamity Agnes for the next jam. Both teams lining up at the jammer line. Calamity Agnes trying to go through the inside, both going past the inside. Looslicht now at the front and being sent to the penalty box. Which means we have a power jam situation, but since Calamity Agnes took off the panty, Calamity Agnes is no longer eligible for lead jammer status, which means we have a 2-minute jam with Looslicht in the penalty box at the moment. Calamity Agnes punching through those skaters, past those blockers one by one, looking where the openings are, try to extend the pack out as much as possible, and out of the pack, picking up 4 points with Looslicht now also out of the pack. Looslicht still on initial and out of the pack, also eligible to score, while Calamity Agnes goes and picks up another 4 points. Looslicht going around for the first scoring pass. Looslicht being recycled to the back, while Calamity Agnes comes through the inside and picks up another 4 points. 12 points already, with Looslicht on the still on the first scoring pass. Looslicht struggling with those strong 3 walls, the strong tripods, and yeah, powering through a tripod it's hard.
Yes, definitely. The defense is really on point
Yeah.
on both teams. And that hit out there by number 42, Medusa.
Almost the Looslicht almost being able to go past the outside, but being recycled with 2 minutes over. We have 14 points. Let's see if there are any more coming on. We have 2 points scored for 4 points. Sorry, 4 points for Rotterdam and 14 points for Pink Avalanche, making the score 45 against 93 in favor of Pink Avalanche with 3 minutes left on the clock.
So that's like 38 points, something. Yeah, 48.
That is a comfortable lead for
It's a
Pink Avalanche to go
lead.
to take with you into halftime.
Ooh, we have a call off for injury at the moment, so just gonna make sure that everything is okay with our skaters. In the meantime, let me also tell you about the officials that are playing this game. Right now on this game we have Berenklau, Helen, Countdown, Peacebreaker, Endinaline, Greed Thunder, Renaissance Woman, Minimum Thrills, Mallet Smash, Oyu, Penelope Garcia, Denial, Not Safe for Work, Jenny, Delirious Diver, Flora, Quagga, The Horse Whistler, and Big Whoop. So, thank you all the officials that are here all weekend to keep us all safe as possible, though. And it looks like our skater is back up, going through the bench on their own accord, so that's always good to see.
With fair pressure with an ice pack on the face.
An ice pack to the face, that cannot be comfortable. It does happen. We always have a pretty good stock of ice packs here ready, just in case.
It is a contact sport and things happen.
That's very
and
true.
unfortunately injuries also happen. But that's why we also always have medics. If we do not have medics, the game will simply not start.
Yes.
We are not allowed to, because it's not safe.
And that's good. Let's keep everybody safe.
Yes.
So we have Yaya facing off against Little Piss Sunshine. Little Piss Sunshine at the front, facing off against that Harbour Honey tripod. Yaya in the back. Looks like a 4-wall defense there. Little Piss Sunshine with 1 to beat at the front and picks up leads. Yaya with helmet cover in hand gets recycled there. Trying to see if they can get some offense done. Monster Mary playing offense for Yaya, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Little Piss Sunshine picking up 4 points, coming back for more, and a star pass to Cherry Bomb. Let's see. Quick hit in the back there by Little Piss Sunshine, picking up all 4 points and calling it off before the Harbour Honeys could score any. Really increasing the lead here. 56 points in the lead right now.
And lining up on the jammer line, we have Calamity Agnes, and Calamity Agnes will be facing off Liza Minnelli.
Yes.
And we're off for the next jam. Fliza Minelli flying to the front, opening up that wall on the inside for the last, with the last two blockers, going past and start going for the first scoring pass. A nice hop on the inside, picking up 4 points. And in the meantime, we have Calamity Agnes still in the, stuck in the pack behind a strong wall, a strong Rotterdam wall. And Calamity Agnes is now out. With Fliza also coming out on the front, quickly calling off, preventing Pink Avalanche from scoring any points, with 4 points scored for Rotterdam, 8 points scored for Rotterdam, and 0 for Pink Avalanche.
Yes, and I'm really curious to see if there's gonna be like another jam, because I think when it got called off there was only 29 seconds left on the period clock. But it seemed to be just enough for one more jam, so we're gonna have Krasinova facing off against Yuki. And Yuki picks up a very quick lead there, tiptoeing on the inside. She's really good at that, really taking that inside line on the toe stops. And a star pass has been done to number 5 Bremer, who makes it out of the pack. While Yuki is on her scoring pass, calls off the jam after picking up 4 points. So score is now 52 points for the Harbour Honeys and 105 for Pink Avalanche. That's 52 points differential. It's not impossible, but it's a good lead from Pink Avalanche.
Yep. And now we are going into halftime. Please have some drinks, have some food. Go outside for some refreshing air, especially for the ones who want to smoke, because smoking is not allowed inside.
Fair enough. We'll see you back for the second half.
Yes.
But first, there's also going to be Chuck A. Duck with my lovely teammate Floor Magnet. For my team.
Why, thank you.
Woo!
Almost ruined everything by throwing over a cup of water.
That's not
Which,
water.
water, lovely, is what ducks like. Wow.
And welcome back, everyone. With 1 minute left on the halftime clock, we are ready to go to the second half. The second half, Pink Avalanche starting the second half with a clear advantage, 105 points versus 53. Let's see if what the score is going to be after this half. So far we have seen very sturdy walls and great jamming, so I expect more of the same.
Yes, and I'm also curious, of course, what happened in that halftime talk. You know, usually after the halftime, teams switch it up a little bit. They are adjusted to the other team. They know what works and what doesn't, so they can make little tweaks in their gameplay, you know, to be even more effective on the track. And for this first jam, we have Low Slick facing off against Little Pissed Sunshine. We have one blocker from Pink Avalanche in the box, so back advantage for the Harbour Honeys, but it's Little Pissed Sunshine who takes the lead on this first jam of the second period. Low Slick still at the front, fighting against Medusa, but gets out. And Little Pissed Sunshine in scoring position, receiving some offense, calling off the jam. Keeping Low Slick scoreless and scoring 2 points there for Pink Avalanche, bringing the score to 53 for the Harbour Honeys and 107 for Pink Avalanche.
With Calamity Agnes lining up and Calamity Agnes facing off Fliza Minelli, we still have one blocker in the box for Pink Avalanche. Little Mermaid, who actually started off this half in the penalty box.
Yes.
Quickly going out of the pack, Flies and Manelli picking up lead jammer status, while Calamity Agnes punches through the walls, going around for a scoring pass, but Flies and Manelli looking back, seeing the opposing jammer coming, quickly calls it off.
Well, not actually, because before she could call it off, she received a cut track penalty, so this is now a power jam for Pink Avalanche.
Yes, indeed, it is a power jam.
Here comes the offense.
As this Flies and Manelli now lost lead jammer status, it's going to be a 2-minute jam.
Yes, and this another 2-minute jam with Calamity Agnes as the jammer. I feel like she's been getting at least her second or third 2-minute jam, so really good stamina there.
Yep. And Calamity Agnes going through the pack, and we have the center of the box, I think.
Yes,
it's
Iron Mist
Iron
taking
Mist.
a seat in the penalty box there, so one less blocker for the Harbour Honeys on track.
Meanwhile, we have Calamity Agnes, like some really nice work on the outside, managing to take a hit and staying in bounds, and picking up 4 points while doing. And
Wow!
nice, good. Looking at where the holes are,
Yes.
going for it, and again making this look easy, which it is not.
It is not at all. But look at her, another scoring pass.
Yeah,
Already putting 20 points on the board right now.
in the meantime, we have Flies and Manelli out of the pack, picking up four more points for Rotterdam, and we have a really high scoring, the highest scoring jam of this game so far, with 23 points scored for Pink Avalanche and 8 points for Rotterdam Harbour Honeys.
That's really helped increase the lead even more. That is 69 point differential. And we have Yuki facing off against Carcinova. Yuki at the front with 2 to beat, that's Cherry Bomb and Bremer. And she does so on the outside line. Meanwhile, Carcinova being recycled there by Medusa. Really doing a lot of work there for Pink Avalanche. Very steady blocker. Yuki now also being recycled by Exterminate. Carcinova fighting at the front against Little Mermaid. And number 83, that's Peaches. But she makes it out on her initial while Yuki is in that scoring pass and decides to call that off. But not before picking up 2 points on that jam.
Little Piss Sunshine now lining up as a jammer, and Little Piss Sunshine will be facing off Loos Licht. We have waving
Call
referees.
for tape.
Yes.
We gotta keep this track taped up because there's rope underneath and you don't want to trip on that rope as a skater.
Yes, a quick track repair. We often call them track ninjas because they appear out of nowhere when the track is broken.
Yes.
And then they fix it.
It's a very noble job.
It's often underappreciated by people who are not on track. But if you are on track,
You know.
Yes, yes.
It's important.
You will quickly learn to love those people.
Exactly. And a big drawback to the jammer line on that 5 seconds. Little Piss Sunshine at the front, Loos Licht in the back. And Little Piss Sunshine gets out for lead here. And a star pass to May. Little Piss Sunshine with a very quick call off there, really getting those hands on the hips, letting the ref know, hey, I'm calling, because the other jammer is coming in hot. But it was all on time. 4 points picked up by Pink Avalanche, keeping the Harbour Honeys scoreless. And we go to our next jam.
With Calamity Agnes on the track versus Fear Pressure. And we have, in the meantime, we have one blocker in the penalty box for Pink Avalanche. as we start this jam. Both jammers trying to punch through those walls, and through the inside, nice move from Veer Pressure, picking up lead jammer status. And we have a cut track penalty issued on Calamity Agnes, which makes it a power jam situation for Veer Pressure, while Veer Pressure is also lead jammer, which is actually a really nice situation to be in. Because at that point you control what's going on. Veer Pressure being recycled to the back, receiving just too much of a hit to stay in bounds, unfortunately. Clearly punching through, those are not easy blockers to get past. Veer Pressure pushing them out of the pack. So Veer Pressure gets a clean move to get past, picking up 4 points. In the meantime, we have Calamity Agnes out of the penalty box. Veer Pressure picking up another 4 points, while Calamity Agnes has finished the initial pass.
Yes, and there was some really cool move there while Veer Pressure was being hit out, yelling to their blocker, yo, I'm being recycled. So the blocker actually hit out the person that hit them out, and Veer Pressure could just continue skating. That's some teamwork right there.
Yep.
Next up we have Fly Samanelli on the jam line against Yuki, so it's another battle of the 1-1-1. 13 points, however, picked up by the Harbour Honeys on that jam. This is what they needed to kind of, keep that gap from spreading too far. And both jammers fighting it out in the back right now. We have Flysa at the front, but Yuki trying to take the outsides and does so. Want to beat that. Iron missed. Iron missed also taking a tumble, so Yuki was free to keep going, picking up lead jammer status. Flysa Manelli still in that pack to the beat and does so. Yuki already scoring some points, gets bumped out, and decides to call off the jam, seeing Flysa Manelli coming in very quickly. 3 points picked up there on that jam, bringing the score to 74 for the Harbour Honeys and 139 for Pink Avalanche.
And we have Little Piss Sunshine. Little Piss Sunshine is on track, facing off against Yaya.
65 points differential right now.
We have Yaya quickly pushing the pack all the way to the front, with a penalty being issued for number 10 Whip and Red Siren, and we have Little Piss Sunshine out of the pack on a scoring pass, and seeing the holes, stepping through, picking up 4 points, while we have a star pass.
Yes, to Bremer.
Yes, Bremer has picked up the star, but we have a quick call off, preventing Rotterdam from scoring any points.
Yes, 74 against 145 right now. And next up we have Calamity Agnes facing off against Loos Licht. We still have one Rotterdam blocker standing in the penalty box, so slight pack advantage for Pink Avalanche right now. And we can see the drawback again on the 5 seconds to the jammer line. Both jammers getting absorbed in those tripods. Loos Licht fighting, big hit there on the outside. Want to beat that at the front and does so. Lead jammer status for the Harbour Honeys. Calamity Agnes still fighting against that tripod in the front. Almost got hit out there by his terminate, but stayed in bounds. And a forearm penalty called on Calamity Agnes, so a power jam now for the Harbour Honeys. But Loos Licht got hit out and recycled there. A bit of a full penalty box, one blocker for Pink Avalanche and the jammer in the box. So let's see if the Harbour Honeys can capitalize.
some effective offense from
Yes,
the
very.
Rotterdam players.
And they're setting up for another offense. I can see that. Here goes the go from the jammer. Good communication between jammer and blockers. However, Pink Avalanche is not gonna let that go so fast. Beautiful side serve, 4 more points on the board. And Calamity Agnes now also returning to play again. Low lift, of course, lead jammer status. So she's just gonna keep breaking up the points as long as she can. Calamity Agnes now also out of the pack on her initial. So Low Slip decides to call that off after picking up 4 more points. This was a 12-point jam for the Harbour Honeys. This is what they needed.
They're really fighting to close that points gap. In the meantime, we have 1-1-1. You have Yuki against Fear Pressure. We are going to a timeout. And is it a timeout or an official?
Official timeout.
An official timeout. Yeah. And we have our track ninjas also coming into action and fixing the track there where needed. Against the those are one of those unsung heroes.
Yes, and also let me tell you about one of our sponsors. That's Sucker Punch Skate Shop. Sucker Punch Skate Shop is the largest derby and roller skate store in Europe, operating online and actually having a physical store in Ghent, Belgium. Heavily involved in the European derby community on a number of levels. They are best known for their reliable service, honest advice and competitive prices, as well as their top quality products and extensive product range. And I know about this. I got all my gear from Sucker Punch. I'm very happy with it.
Yes, I think a lot of people who get their gear from Sucker Punch.
Exactly, and the owner is also a really nice person, so that helps. So if you need any more gear, go to suckerpunchskateshop.com and get it. Why wait? We all got our vacation money, right, in May, so it's time to spend it.
And there is no better way to spend it than spend it on derby gear.
That's true, you know, when your gear is falling apart and you're holding it together with duct tape, like maybe it's time to get some new pads.
Yep. And it's also for your own safety, because if your safety gear is falling apart, then
You will.
you will fall apart when you get hits, and you will get hits on track.
Yes,
As we've seen a lot of times before, and also with a lot of players on track. I have been on track with them as well, and when you receive hits from those players, you feel it.
you want good gear.
Yeah, you want good gear.
Yeah.
Because the ground is very unforgiving.
Yes. It looks cute, you know, the blue little floor, but it's hard when you collapse into that. So it's not nice. Experienced it firsthand yesterday. Also, I can see some people warming up already from Pearl City in Breda Roller Derby, because they're going to play St. Pauli B actually. The game we played yesterday against them with the Aces was really tough, so also very curious about that game. And that game will start at 1:30, so make sure to stick around after this game to watch that game. So many games this weekend, 10 games. That's insane.
Yeah, you might think that it's like an entire tournament over here.
Yeah, like what's going on?
Yeah.
That's a lot of derby.
Yep. Although I personally I think it's a coincidence.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's like
It must be.
yeah, like
Who can organize something like this?
No,
That's
that's
crazy.
completely impossible.
Yeah.
Impossible to do. In the meantime, we are still in an official timeout. We
yes.
have a referee going to the bench
to the
area.
bench of Pink Avalanche, talking to one of the players. And that player might have to go and take a seat in the penalty box.
Yes, we have. It's
Yeah, that's Death Wheel. Number 99, Death
9-9.
Wheel.
That's Death Wheel.
Yes.
Death Wheel, starting from the penalty box as a pivot, which gives the Rotterdam a pack advantage. Let's see if Fair Pressure can take advantage of this. Fair Pressure lining up against Yuki. We still do not have a rolling whistle yet.
Yes.
Although at this point we have 2 jammers on track, but that will fix itself.
Yes, who's gonna take it
Yes,
though?
yes.
Will it
So-
be Little Piss Sunshine? Will it be Yuki? No, Little Piss Sunshine just wanted to talk to her
Yep.
blockers for a bit. That's also important.
Yep.
Now we have the Rotterdam coach calling for an official review, so that's my cue to start running.
So we have an official review, the first official review from Rotterdam. Since we are in a new half, both teams are now eligible to call for an official review. So we are going to hear as soon as they have made their grievances clear what they want reviewed by our referees. They are then again they are going to discuss it, and they are going to make their verdict. And the goal is to keep it clean, to keep it fair, and to keep everyone happy. We do see some laughs, some giggles on the line, because yeah, you still need to do something to prevent from getting bored. And Sparkles is now back, so Sparkles is going to tell us what their grievances are.
So the Harbour Honeys requested an official review. They wanted a blocking with the head penalty on the pink Avalanche jammer. So the refs are deliberating right now if there was indeed some blocking with the head going on, because of course we all know that's a penalty, because you cannot block the jammer then legally or safely. But did that really happen? We don't know. The refs are deliberating.
That's why we have a ref crew.
I love that. I love that we have a ref crew.
Yep.
And yeah, I will report back to you when I know the outcome.
If we had to decide on our own penalties, then a lot of people will just judge that. Well, you know, since I did it, I think this was legal. But again, to keep it fair, we have the possibility for an official review, and we have the referees who make that judgment call. I see in the corner we have the teams being informed. That means that a decision has been made. So we're going to wait until the teams are informed. As soon as the teams are informed, then we will let you know as well.
So the refs talked about it, and they did observe, initiating contact with the head. So a head block penalty will be given to the jammer of the previous jam from Pink Avalanche, and Rotterdam will start with a power start, and they will retain their official review.
Yes. So if I'm not mistaken, that was Little Piss Sunshine, the last jam. Or was it Calamity Agnes?
Who knows? I forgot.
Let's see. Oh, it's Calamity Agnes. Calamity
Yes.
Agnes is going to the penalty box as a jammer and will start from the penalty box. And we have both the jammer and the pivot starting from the penalty box, which gives a clear advantage for Rotterdam. So Fair Pressure is going to try to take full advantage of this. We have a Pink Avalanche lining up way in the front, and let's see, it looks like Rotterdam will try to box them in to make room for Fair Pressure to get past, and successfully Fair Pressure on the inside, picking up quickly lead jammer status in this power start and power jam. Fair Pressure being knocked down, recycled to the back. On the first scoring pass, and a quick trip and being recycled to the back yet again.
Yeah, some really big hits being dealt there by Pink Avalanche, but it's not enough to keep Fear Pressure down.
Yeah, on the third attempt, Fear Pressure has indeed passed, picking up 4 points and quickly calling it off because out of the penalty, because Calamity Agnes was also out of the penalty box on the way for the first scoring pass. Fear Pressure is not having none of it and calls the jam.
Yes, Calamity Agnes having a very quick initial pass, forcing Fear Pressure to call off that jam. Only 4 points scored in that power jam, but every point counts here. It's a 55 points differential right now. We have Flysa Manelli facing off against Yuki. It's the battle of the 1-1-1 again. And Flysa pushing in the front there, trying to get the Pink Avalanche blockers out of play, but they're really solid. Now one to beat, that's Death Wheel. Really giving it her all, but it is Flysa Manelli who gets out with leads. Yuki's still stuck on that initial, getting recycled by Exterminate, while Flysa is in for her first scoring pass, picking up 4 points, coming back for more. Yuki still on that initial, decides to take off the helmet cover, maybe for a possible star pass or a star stash, you never know. And one to beat at front, that's Iron Mist. Gets bumped out there, beautiful hits. And a big drawback by Iron Mist. Flysa Manelli coming in for her third scoring pass, already 8 points on the board. Tries to take the outside but gets bumped out by Death Wheel, also with a big drawback. So you can tell these teams are really evenly matched here. Yuki still on that initial with another bounce back, getting recycled there. And a penalty, a cut track penalty on Yuki. So this is now another power gem for the Harbour Honeys. Flysa Manelli, of course, already with 8 points. Fighting in the front there with Tricky Vicky. And out of bounds, really doing a great job, but the out of play is being called. And Flysa is good to go. 12 points picked up already on this jam. Only 9 more seconds in this jam, so let's see if she can pick up maybe another point in those last seconds. Not quite. But
I think we have run out the entire 2 minutes.
yes, Yuki is still standing in the penalty box, so it's a power start for the Harbour Honeys. Harbour Honeys really making a comeback this half.
Yeah, with 12 points, which is a very nice score to for one jam.
Yes, and also a power start.
Yes, a power start. Yuki will be starting from the penalty box, and Yuki will be facing off Loos Licht. Loos Licht quickly to the pack. Well, Yuki is now also out of the penalty box. Even though Loos Licht is being recycled to the back. For Yuki, it's actually the second jam in a row, which means that you get tired.
Yes, but
some nice,
it doesn't face her.
Yeah, but with some nice offense from her teammate, still being able to pick up lead jammer status. While Loos Licht is struggling with that last blocker. Loos Licht managing to push that last blocker aside, while Yuki is now on the scoring pass. Yuki deciding to call it off before Loos Licht is able to score any points. Unfortunately, not picking up any points for Pink Avalanche.
Yes, 0-0 on that jam. We have a 43-point differential, 13 minutes left on game. It can still be done.
Yep.
Next up, we have Fear Pressure lining up against Little Pissed Sunshine. All blockers on track for this jam starts, and we're on. Fear Pressure with a very quick lead there. Now coming in for their scoring pass. Little Miss Sunshine with cover in hand also makes it out on her initial. Now let's see how many points Fear Pressure can pick up with a quick juke. Beautiful juke to the inside, picking up the 4 points and calling it off before Little Miss Sunshine can score any. Chipping away at that lead slowly but steady. 39 points between these two teams right now.
In the meantime, we have a Calamity Agnes facing off Yaya. With an empty penalty box, starting from an empty penalty box. Teams are lining up. And they're off. Quickly trying to punch through, but being knocked down. Calamity Agnes. Both jammers stuck behind the walls. We have seen really sturdy tripods, but Calamity Agnes managing to get past them, picking up lead jammer status, while Yaya is stuck at the back of the pack. Some Calamity Agnes again making this look easy, which it is not, but picking up 4 points cleanly, smashing through the Rotterdam walls.
Yes, Calamity Agnes being a really explosive jammer with speed and strength, but there has been a star pass to Cherry Bomb right now.
And we have Cherry Bomb with the helmet cover out of the pack, while we have 2 blockers in the penalty box for Pink Avalanche.
One of which is number 515. I think that's Little Mermaid, who is now on 6 penalties. So one more and it's over. And Pink Avalanche decides to call a timeout, which I think is a good idea right now. There's 11 more minutes on the board. They have a lead. It's relatively comfortable, but not great. And they had some really tough, power jams against in the last few jams. So maybe this is a good time to kind of regroup, take a breather, and come up with a plan so that they can keep the lead.
And in the meantime, the Rotterdam players are trying to cheer on the crowd, because the crowds are actually really calm. Why is that, crowd? Come on, cheer on your teams. You have 2 great teams on track. Cheer them on, because it helps when you are on track if you have some nice crowds.
Let me see. There's some people here in the audience. And who here is cheering for the Harbour Honeys? Are there also people cheering for Pink Avalanche? And what about the officials? Can we give the officials some love? Awesome. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. And we're back. We have Liza Minnelli facing off against Yuki, our favorite matchup. Big hit there by Iron Mist. Actually getting past lead jammer status is for Yuki, but Liza Minnelli is right behind. Really quick jam there. And that's actually a really good jam for Pink Avalanche, because they had 2 blockers in the box, still managed to pick up leads, pick up 3 points, and call it off before Liza Minnelli could score any points. Impressive.
Little Miss Sunshine will only have 2 blockers on track, while Loos Licht has all 4 blockers there. So let's see who will be able to take advantage of this situation. Loos Licht with only the 2 blockers, trying to push them out, and with a nice twirl around the inside, picking up lead jammer status. While we have one player out of the box, and we have another player being sent back to the box. So it's still 2 blockers who are there to stop Loos Licht. Also, when Loos Licht pushes them forward, one needs to peel off to have a pack, else you will have a no pack situation, which is not allowed. Loos Licht also taking advantage of the situation.
And there was a power jam. There has been a full-ass power jam for Loos Licht, but now Little Miss Sunshine is back on track and gets out of her initial. I was already thinking like, where's the white jammer? But she's back now. So Looslicht forced to call that off. One more point picked up, a 9-point jam for Rotterdam, bringing the score to 115 for the Harbour Honeys against 156 for Pink Avalanche. It's a 41-point differential, 9 minutes left. It's getting exciting. Next up we have Fear Pressure facing off against Calamity Agnes. We have all the blockers on track for this jam starts. And it's Fear Pressure who takes the lead, but Calamity Agnes is right behind, speeding up. So this is gonna be interesting. Both jammers coming in hot. Let's see what happened there. 1 point picked up by Pink Avalanche, 2 points picked up there by the Harbour Honeys. That was a really fast jam.
Indeed, a really fast jam with 8.5 minutes left on the clock. We have Yuki, and Yuki will be facing up Liza Minnelli. So that's again the battle of the ones.
The battle of the ones.
Let's see which of the 6 ones wins this round.
Liza Minnelli on the inside.
Liza Minnelli quickly picking up lead jammer status. Well, Yuki is being knocked down and being sent to the penalty box. So we have a power jam situation where Liza Minnelli is on the scoring pass. Liza Minnelli going past those blockers, being able to pick them off one by one, picking up 4 points, while Yuki is still in the penalty box. Coming around, looking at which side to pick again. Being able to split apart that pack so you can pick them off one by one. And again, we have the Pink Avalanche jammer out of the penalty box. So both jammers are now back on track. Yuki going past the inside and is now also on a scoring pass. Liza Minnelli picking the outside and then being knocked down quickly, receiving a big hit and quickly calling it off.
That was number 02, Sweet Chaos with that hit.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
It was a sweet hit from Sweet Chaos.
Very sweet. This power jam was just what the Harbour Honeys needed, 128 against 157.
With the lead closing and a little over 6 minutes left on the clock.
That's only, 29 points between the teams. This is very doable. This is very exciting. We have Looslicht facing off against Little Piss Sunshine, and Looslicht picking up the lead right now. Little Piss Sunshine actually the lead. There was a little confusion between the jammer refs. Not the lead. That was also confusing for me. Looslicht was indeed the lead jammer. 3 points picked up there by the Harbour Honeys, keeping Pink Avalanche scoreless, 131 versus 157 still for Pink Avalanche. 26 points now between these teams. And we have a timeout for Pink Avalanche. This is probably a good timing. Harbour Honeys have been raking up the points in these last few jams, and they wanna win this probably, I assume. So they're gonna regroup, take a breather, come up with a plan to make sure that in this last 5 minutes they can stay on top.
And even though Rotterdam is behind, they are definitely not out of this game. We see some really strong balls, some really strong offense as well. Nice jammer moves. It's everything you want when you're looking at a game.
It's that high-level derby.
Yeah, definitely, it's definitely a high-level derby. Teams are greatly matched, so yeah, those are the best games to watch.
Yeah, because when you look at the rankings, Prague is ranked 35th in the WFTDA Europe and Rotterdam on number 41. So that's very closely ranked. There's a lot at stake, you know, for this game, ranking-wise. So next up we have Fear Pressure on the jammer line for the Harbour Honeys against Calamity Agnes. We have one blocker for the Harbour Honeys in the penalty box, so slight back advantage for Pink Avalanche. Again with the rollback, but taking a bit of a tumble at the start. One of the blockers from the Harbour Honeys. So that gave Calamity Agnes the space that she needed to pick up a quick lead, while Fear Pressure still in that pack with 2 to beat and does so, completing their initial, while Calamity Agnes is on a scoring pass and calling off the jam. Again, waiting a little bit with the call off to chip some seconds off that period clock. You know, they want to make sure that they stay in the lead. They want to stretch that time to keep being in the lead and not giving Rotterdam any chance to score.
With a 30-point difference, it is important to keep that lead and try to stretch it out as much as possible. Every second counts.
Yes, clock management is very important in this game, especially with tight games like this. Next up we have Fly Samanelli against Yuki again.
Again, 1-1-1 versus off against 1-1-1. As we have seen numerous times before, and Yuki picking up lead jammer status for Pink Avalanche, closely followed by Fly Zamanelli. We have the pack speeding up, and
beautiful hit there by Exterminate, making sure that Yuki cannot score any points in a jam. She gets a high five for that effort. And she looks very happy with that, and I understand that when the score is this close and you have such little time left on the clock, you really don't want to give away any points.
It's still 30 points difference with a little less than 4 minutes left on the clock. In the meantime, we have Looslicht facing off Little Piss Sunshine.
Yes.
And we have a tight pack. Both jammers still stuck. We have some tumbling, and past the inside we have and then looking for the space, trying to pick up the jammers one by one, but Little Piss Sunshine is sent to the penalty box
for a forearm,
which is not a good situation when the score is close. But still, it is a power jam situation for Rotterdam. Rotterdam will try to take full advantage of this Looslicht, picking up lead jammer status, going around for the first scoring pass. Looslicht trying to pass the inside, being knocked down and being recycled to the back. Teammates trying to prevent that. Looslicht again picking the inside line, picking up 4 points.
Yes, bodies flying to the floor in this jam, very hard. The stakes are so high, everybody is playing at full explosiveness. Yuki now, a Little Pissed Sunshine actually, back on track after that penalty, taking a tumble. Looslicht in that second scoring pass, getting a hit from Medusa but staying in bounds. More bodies just hitting the floor. And that's the end of that jam.
The jam gets cold with Rotterdam closing the lead with 8 points. Slowly closing that lead, but will it be enough with 2 minutes left on the clock?
22 points, 2 minutes. It can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done.
We have Fear Pressure lining up, and in the meantime we have an official review.
There we go.
As Sparkles is going to see what. It's like they're taking a timeout.
When you're all out of timeouts, but you still want a timeout, you can always use your official review as a timeout, which is what is happening now.
Which is actually quite interesting because they still have a timeout left on the clock.
Yeah, but they probably
From
want to
board.
save that just in case, you know, this jam runs long enough that there's less than 30 seconds on the clock, but they still want another jam, so. But they probably also need all the air and energy that they can get right now, so that they can give full 200% on the track in these last few minutes. I also see one pink Avalanche blocker being in the penalty box right now. So it's gonna be a pack advantage for the Harbour Honeys. And it looks like Fear Pressure is gonna face off against Calamity Agnes. Alright, can see Rotterdam taking that jammer line. Pink Avalanche blockers a little bit in front. Fear Pressure getting an assist from Iron Mist and gets out the jammer step and a penalty. It's a power jam for Fear Pressure. And there they go, 4 points already on the board. Like you said, 22 points is definitely not undoable like this. But hit out, but a no pass, no penalty, so they are clear to keep jamming. Facing off at the tripod at the front. And another 4 points being picked up by Fear Pressure here. Meanwhile, a pink Avalanche blocker going to the box. Calamity Agnes is out of the pack. And the jam gets called. 12 points picked up in that jam. This is very exciting. 151 against 161. 10 points between these two teams with like 30 seconds left on the clock. This is insane.
This is insane. If Harbour, if Rotterdam managed to close the, to pick up another 10 points in the next jam, we will actually have an overtime jam.
That would be exciting.
That would definitely be exciting. So for, let's, oh we, oh
Really,
everyone's
it's
having
just the second half.
quick drink.
Yeah, Rotterdam has been really raking up the points, closing that gap.
Rotterdam deciding to use a team timeout.
Yes, because it looks kind of like they're gonna use peer pressure again to jam twice in a row.
Fear Pressure is lining up against Little Pissed Sunshine.
Yes.
And we'll start off this jam with 29 seconds of game clock
This
left.
very well may be the last jam of the game.
Yep.
And there's a timeout, of course. Just at the peak of excitement. Looks like we have one pink Avalanche blocker in the box, so there's also a slight pack advantage for Rotterdam, so this is very exciting. And we're off. Peer Pressure fighting at the front, but Little Kiss Sunshine also trying to take the inside. And look at that, Peer Pressure with 1 to 2 to beat, and it's definitely at the front. The crowd goes wild. Look at Rotterdam just giving it their all on the track right now, trying to keep Little Kiss Sunshine. Peer Pressure on their first scoring pass gets out. 4 points picked up there. Little Kiss Sunshine stuck behind the tripod receiving offense. Peer Pressure getting back on track. There was some impact, but it was legal. Now at the front, Little Kiss Sunshine taking off her helmet cover. 4 more points picked up by Peer Pressure. Only 2-point differential right now. Wow, look at that juke. And a fall. And a whistle. And a forearm. Everything is happening at once right now.
Peer Pressure managing to keep in bounds,
Yes,
which is not easy feat. Knowing that 4 points is enough, passing the puck, calls it off. Picking up 12 points.
I have chills. I have literal chills. There's goosebumps on my arms right now. 163 points for the Harbour Honeys. 161 for Pink Avalanche.
What a crazy game that
What a
was.
game.
What a game.
Wow.
What a game. These are the games why we watch Derby.
Yes, exactly. This is what we wanted to see.
Like, big kudos for both teams. Both teams displaying great Derby on track. And with 2 points difference, we're going to final score,
Yes.
which means that Rotterdam has won this with 2 points difference.
That's insane.
That really is insane. Coming back from a more than 50-point
Exactly.
difference.
There was like 60-point differential at one point, and they
Yep.
came back from it. That was some high-level Derby.
This really was some high-level Derby.
And next up, we're gonna have more Derby.
Yes.
We're gonna have Breda Pearl City versus St. Pauli B. That's gonna be a good one.
So stay tuned in. Stay tuned in for that one. For now, give a big applause to both teams
Yes.
for some great, awesome Derby.